up, guys? James here. We're going to be doing a speed build today. I'm going to use a platform called Etch to build a fairly simple website that the website already exists, but I had a robot redesign it for me. And so I'm going to take that new design and build it out in Etch. This is not going to be a super educational video because I'm not going to be taking the time to explain everything. My goal is to just see how fast I can build this website. I'm curious. A couple people on Twitter were also curious. So I'm going to record myself doing it. We're going to start the stopwatch and we're just going to see how long it takes to build a website. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, welcome to part 2 of my speed build series, we'll call it, 2-part series. We are speed building a website using Etch. In the first video, I basically built the whole thing with code that I copied and pasted. And so that kind of showed you how Etch works as a code editor, basically. But in this video, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. We're going to build the same website, but instead of doing it with code, I'm going to do it with the page builder, the builder features. And I'm going to try to make it, look as close to the website as possible. So, without further rambling, let's go ahead and start our stopwatch. And here we go. So I'm going to save the header for last again because that's the hard part. The rest is easy. So let's just start copying text. I also need to create a page. This would actually even be faster if I was using automatic CSS, but I've never used automatic CSS before, so I'm not using it. But I've seen people like Kevin use it, and when you get used to it and you know what the classes are and whatnot, it's pretty quick. It's pretty nice. Okay, do they already have? Oh, they already gave me a home page. Thanks for that. I wish WordPress would do that. This is a sandbox from Etch. I wish WordPress would do that. Okay, so we already have a homepage. Cool. So let's go ahead and edit it. All right. Oh, this looks different. This looks different. This is a new version of Etch. Does it look different? I feel like something about it is different. Maybe not. All right. Let's add a section. Let's get this show on the road. The clock is running. Ooh. That's what's different. My structure panel is missing. Let's put that back over here where I'm used to it. Okay, I also like to have my CSS up here so that it can cascade, you know what I'm saying? And okay, JavaScript. Yeah. Okay. So section. We're going to call this hero section, and in the container, if you remember correctly, we had a heading, and then we had some regular text, and then we had 2 buttons. Those buttons are side by side, so we're going to throw in a flex div. Should I do a flex div or just a container? I need to learn more about the defaults of these because they do some stuff to sections and the container. I'm just going to do flex div, I think. Okay, inside the flex div, we'll do link. Okay. And what else we got in the hero section? That's it. I'm not going to call this the hero section. This is going to be the next section. So we're going to call this button primary, button secondary, container's fine, hero, just heading. And then, I don't know what this word means, but Kevin always calls this the lead. It's a journalism term, I believe. I'm going to call this buttons. And then I'm going to right click, create BEM classes. Now everything has a class. Let's get our text in there. Browse plugins themes. Submit to plugin a theme. Okay. And it's all pretty straightforward here. We got typography. Text align is centered. I probably could have just added that to the whole section or container. I don't know if that's good practice. Okay, and then, you know what, let's do that on these as well. Oh, I should actually, I've already screwed up. I'm going to delete that. And apart from the class that it gave it, I'm also going to give these just the class of button. And then I'm going to target that class and say text align center, because we're building mobile first, all right? And we're building mobile first, not because that's just what you do, but because that's basically how Etch is kind of set up, just with the way they add flex to their stuff. It's just kind of set up that way by default. So for instance, you know, on mobile we do want these buttons to stack like they are, but on desktop we'll want them to be side by side. So what we'll do is we'll come in here to this class and we're going to say, how does this work? Media screen and what do we say, like 800 pixels? That's a decent, I don't know. And then we go like this, ampersand, direction row. Now I'll be honest, I don't know how to do that. I don't even know if it's possible to do what I just did without writing code over here in the CSS. So it's kind of like in the first video I mentioned, most of the time you're sort of doing both. You know, you might use a little bit of the builder and you'll also do some code. This is a good example of that. I don't know how to do this stuff like with just the builder. I mean, we do have these mobile tablet and mobile things. Maybe, I don't know if, yeah, that's just, I think that just messes with the preview. Anyway, speed build, I should stop talking. I'm so used to explaining stuff as I go. Okay, and then I also want to say, and I can probably just add this to the buttons. I'll say in layout, center, and then there's a gap, I'm assuming, in here somewhere. There it is, gap. I don't know. Let's call it 3 rem. Save. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Looks just like the, oh, never mind. We got stuff to do still. Let's see. Let's steal this green. I don't like the green. I'm not going to keep the green when I actually build this website. But for the speed build, we will just grab the green here. What should I call this green? We have like green primary. I don't know if you can tell, but this WordPress plugins and the word themes are actually 2 different colors. The robot was getting a little overzealous with colors, I think. But I'm just going to call this green primary, and I'll call this background green secondary. Who cares? It's not worth spending a bunch of time on. And when I say all that, what I mean is I'm going to go over here to Style Manager and I'm going to add variables because you can do that. If I can remember how variables work, bar, is this how we do it? Primary green. No, we don't type that in here. We just go primary green is that. Nope, that's actually supposed to be our secondary. And then our primary is this color. Okay, move dumb face. Button, where's my background color? There it is. Okay. Primary green. There we go. Got a couple of variables. And so, for the section, let's say background color, and we can just say dash dash secondary green. Is that what it's called? I've already forgotten. Or did I call it green secondary? I called it secondary green. Okay. Wait. Did I spell that right? Nope. No wonder it wasn't working. Secondary. Bruh. What are you doing? That should work. Yep, now it's green. And then... Oh, we got a style. Kevin says you're not supposed to actually make these buttons. And it's better to just keep them as links and then style them. I thought it was more accessible to make an actual button, but I'll trust the man. So I'm just going to say on button primary, background color, primary green, and what would it be, layout, padding block, I don't know, 10 pixels, 20 pixels, border, radius, I don't know, 20 pixels. No, it was not a pill, it was just do 5 pixels. Typography, color, I'm just going to call that white. Excuse me, I'm going to call that white. Oh. Spell it correctly, please. Okay, can I do text decoration? Yes, I can. Thank you. And what font are we using? What font plugin does not work on this VO demo? Font family inherit. Okay, not helpful. Not helpful. Huh. You know what? We're just going to call it like a sans serif. Boom. And I think we want to make this boldish. Yeah. This one, what's that color? Just white looks like. Button secondary. I'm so used to... Why is this now going away? Hello? Okay, that was weird. Background color, white. Man, I cannot spell the word white today. White. Nope. Yes. Background color white. That's what I wanted. Padding block was 10 pixels. Inline was 20 pixels. I should probably be using rem. Who cares? Leave me alone. Border radius was 5 pixels. Color black. Text decoration. None. Oh, and I'm going to give that the class of section, and I'm going to say section font family sans serif. Yay! Okay. What am I looking for here? Layout. Where's padding block 5 rem. Yeah, it looks about right. Heading, margin. I thought they had margin inline start and margin inline end. Am I crazy? Okay. So how am I supposed to add padding top, padding bottom? I just have to go into padding and try to remember the order. Okay, so I want 0, 0, 2 rem 0. And for some reason that doesn't seem to have worked. Oh, what did I add that on? Oh, the wrong thing. Okay, weird. I could have sworn that they had that in there at some point. You know what? Let's do that same thing on this. Okay. We'll make this text much bigger. Font size. I don't have any. I don't have any weight options with this. Okay, I got a little bit. It's as bold as it's gonna get without, if I knew what font this was, I would just import the font and it would be exact. But I don't know what it is, so we're just going with sans serif. And we're gonna grab this. Looks like this is our gray text color, our primary sort of text color. Yeah, that's pretty much the color of all of our text. Let's call that text primary, shall we? And I think I'm going to add that to my section class, and then I'll change it when I need to, but I think for the most part it's going to be that. So color text primary, enter, semicolon. Does this button need a border on it? Probably, yeah. Yeah. I'm feeling lazy, so it's just going to be 1 pixel solid text primary. Yeah, that's not the right color, but you know what? Fine. We're trying to make this accurate, I said, right? So where's the stupid border color? I gotta scroll through 1,000 Tailwind classes to find it. Okay. Next section, I do believe. And this could be difficult because I don't do a lot of forms. I don't do a lot of forms. And you know what? I can't use the builder for this anyways because they don't have, I don't think, let me check. Yeah, they don't have like field inputs down here. So, guess what? I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna do this like we did in the last video. Steal the code. Okie dokie, pokey smoky. Let's grab this. Add a section. And what did it give the class? Just browse. This is the container section. Class equals browse and section. Container, they called it browse underscore underscore container. We'll grab this cascading style sheet. It's funny how we just refer to all CSS code as CSS, but CSS is a style sheet. This is not CSS, this is CSS code. Okay, that was dumb, I shouldn't have said that. Browse, yep. Boom, done. Look at that. Does that look quite right? Oops. It does not look right for some reason. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Got little bugs flying around there. Section, class equals browse. That is what they called it, right? Oh, is this? Stupid robot. Now it's not nesting at all. This is actually frustrating because it used to be so much better. Come on, you can do it. Okay. I'm going to steal the code from the last time I did this because earlier today the robot was not having any problems with this. Freaking robots, man. Look at that. Is this so hard? Is this so hard, robot? There it is. Boom. Okay. Next. Not sure what that's all about. Oh. What is that all about? I don't know why the robot put that in there. I'm deleting it. Okay, next section. Back to the builder. Back to the builder. The next section is I'm gonna call this section plugins because I'm super clever. All right, inside the container we're going to have, should the container be the, or should I put another, let's see here. I'm going to just try to build the card inside this container. Do I want to do that? Let's try it. I want a flex div, I think. We're going to have a row, a row, a row. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a flex div. And we're going to have, I'm going to put a div, a flex div inside that flex div. This is going to be called plugin card. This is card heading, header, card header. Inside card header is a text and a text. Card title. Card label. Whatever. And then after the header, I don't think this needs its own div. I think I just do a text. After that, another text. I don't need to put the word card in there because it's going to get it from that. Alright, so plugin card, header, author content, categories, which I skipped in the last video and I'm probably going to skip again because it's just difficult and you don't want to watch me struggle to figure that out. Requires a loop inside a loop. I did get it working once. I know it's possible. I just don't feel like figuring it out again. So I'll skip and do another text for the version. We'll call that version and then a button. So a link and say download. All right. How's that look? Beautiful. Stunning. Alright, so let's go ahead and do our BEM classes. Looking good, looking good. Let's get our content in there. We're just going to build out one of these statically for now, and then we will, maybe I'll dynamicify it. I did the dynamic stuff in the last video, so maybe I won't do it again in this video. I don't know. We'll see. Just trying to show you how the builder works today. I didn't think I had copied that text correctly. Let's try that again. There we go. These bugs, man. I'm out in the man cave just because it's finally not 1,000,000 degrees out, you know? And I just want to enjoy this man cave that I've been building for this whole summer. Spring, I should say. Is that all the content? That's all the content. Let's see here. I don't know anything about grid. I really think yeah, I'm gonna put a div in here. I'm gonna call it grid. And I'm gonna put my card in the grid. Okay, so layout, right? Display, grid template columns. I want 3 columns. Don't I put the number that I want in there? Or no, I have to. Also, let's duplicate this. Yeah, that's not working. All right, let's see how this did it. Cause I'm a cheater. I'm a cheater, baby. About. Oh wait. Yeah. Here we go. Nope. Here we go. Body, author, badge, title, blah, 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 hover, blah, 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 card, grid. Grid template columns. Okay, yeah, that's right. 1FR just means that they're all the same size, basically, right? On mobile, this makes it so it's 1 column basically, and then again, I don't think I can do this without just using code. So I'm just going to grab this code. I want to change it a little bit, I think. Oh no, maybe I used the same class, so that's good. So drop that in here. At media, and then do that. I could have used Control D just now. I was just bragging about that earlier and I forgot that it's a thing. Plugins grid, right? Okay. That should be working. Yeah, 2 columns. And then I need a gap. We can use the builder for that. Gap. 1 rem? I don't know. Let's see what we got. Let's just see what we got. Okay. Let's copy that again so you can see what it looks like with 3 in there. All right. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Okay. Did I make that a heading? I don't think I did, and I probably should have. I did not. Cool, cool, cool. So here's something cool you can do. I can just double click on it, or yeah, click in there, delete that, and say H, let's make it H3, I don't know. And now that's an H3. You see down here, changed it. I could have done it here too. Everything's left aligned already. let's style this button quick since that's easy. First we give this the class of button, and this particular button has a background color of primary green. Yeah. Has a color of white. I spelled it right this time. Let's go. Padding block 10 pixels just like the other ones. Let's say border radius of 5 pixels just like the other ones. Text decoration is none. And font weight is nice and fat. And this section needs a class of section so I can get the font. Yeah. Save that. Okay, so we got our button that's full width just like we want. I'm thinking I'm going to come up here to plugin card, P, margin block end, 1 rem. Yeah. The card itself, I'll give a padding, back to the builder, layout, padding, 1 rem, 1.5 rem. Is there a border and a box shadow? There's the box shadow of black, 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 black. Where did I go? Where? Yeah, shadow small. Zero, 1, 2, 0, black 0.05. Can I do shadow? Yeah, shadows, box shadow, 0, 1 pixel, 2 pixels, 0. You know what? How's that? Did that do anything? I think it did actually. I can almost. Yeah, there's like the faintest little box shadow down there. It's hardly even worth the effort I just put in. And then there's a border on there too, just 1 pixel. And this gray color. Is this the color that I already... I used this once before. Yeah, I did use this once before, which means it should probably be a variable. Whatever. Border. 1 pixel solid. Okay. Let's duplicate this again, see what it looks like. My border is not happening. Is it adding a border? Did I add it to the wrong thing? Yes, I did. What did I do? You dummy. How did I pull that off? Plug-in card border. There we go. There we go. That's looking not too bad. I do need to figure out my max width. Let's see if they have one. I'm sure they do. Max width 80 rem. Okay. So let's grab one of these containers. Dot container. Margin auto. I don't want that on the. I don't think I need it on the hero section, do I? Yeah, I should do it. Class section. Class. Yep, that has container. This does not yet. Does this one have container? Yep, okay. There we go. There's my max width. This is looking pretty good, you guys. And it's responsive. I need to give some padding. Should the padding be on the section? Is that one of those things that doesn't matter? I feel like I usually put the padding on the section. I'm just not sure it matters. That looks pretty good to me. I think these cards need a little border radius. Plug-in card, border, radius. 10 pixels? Is that too much? Is it just 5 like the other one? Like the buttons? No, it looks like it's more than 5. Once again, I can just actually look and see what it is. I mean, if it was a Figma file, they would tell us what it is, right? 0.5. 0.5 rem. Sure. Let's do 0.5 rem. Save that. Okay. What's our next section? This guy. We got heading, text, 2 buttons. Just like this. Okay. And add a section. I'm going to call this section submit. And we're going to say class equals submit and section. Oh yeah. Heading, text, flex div, link. Nope. Heading's fine. Lead is fine again. Buttons. All right. Create them bend classes, baby. I also think I'm gonna put another div in here. Always forget something. Register. Yeah, I'm gonna put another div in there for that border, that dotted dash line. So I want it to be a child of container, so I'll just go ahead and click. It does need to be a flex div, right? Yeah. We'll throw in a flex div. I wonder if there's a keyboard shortcut to make it be the first child, so I don't have to drag it back up here. Okay, because then I want everything else to be inside here. Heading and buttons. And this is going to be called submit. Wrapper. Actually, just wrapper. And then the class. All right. So they're saying max width 42 rem. Where's width? Is that not in layout? Display, gap padding. No, maybe it's, oh, dimension, derp. Where do I find the dimensions? Maybe in the dimension tab. Okay, max inline size. That's what I want, right? Right. Layout. Margin auto. Is this doing what I want it to do? Hey, I think it is. Kind of, maybe. Border 2 pixels. Dashed with the same color again. You know what? I'm tired of this. Border color. Where else did I use that? These cards, right? Alright, border 2 pixel dashed border gray. Yeah. Oh, my neck. Padding all around. 1.5 rem. That seems like a lot. No, that seems okay. Border radius. I'm thinking 0.5 rem again. Yeah. This is all going to be text center. So let's just do that here. Yeah. Buttons, again, we need to do this at media screen and min width. I think we were doing 800 pixels for these things. Ampersand, flex direction row. Save. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Buttons, layout, center, center. Gap. What did I do up here for gap? Three rem. Is that too much for this one? It might be too much for this one. Let's just do 1.5 rem. See what that looks like. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's say heading. Margin 0, 0, 1 rem 0. Same for that. Okay. Oh, I wanted this. What is this? Background color. Wrapper, background, save. Okay, I feel like theirs is bigger. Maybe not, actually. Alright, and we got black and white for the buttons, easy peasy. I need to give these the class of button. The class of button needs text decoration none. So I'm tired of putting that on everything. I might even put the padding on that because so far it seems like the padding has pretty much been the same on all my buttons. Yep. Okay, and then this one is white background with that gray border and black text. Border gray. Color white. No. This one's black. Button. Border radius. 5 pixels. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Where are we at so far? 55 minutes, okay. Yeah, this is going a little slower than, you know, just straight up copying and pasting code. I gotta text my teenager here. Okay. What else do we got? Please tell me we're almost done. Ooh boy. Alright. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. New section called About. What? Where'd my new section go? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Why do I have hero section, section, heading, controls, search, filter? Yeah, okay. This is the browse section. And then this is my new section that it dropped up here for some reason. Okay. We're gonna stop, dude. What are you doing? What were we calling this again? Sorry, got distracted. Focus. This is the about. So we got a heading and 2 paragraphs, and that is it. Love it. So heading, text, text. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay. H2, that's fine. Margin 0, 0, 1.5 rem. 0. 1.5 rem 0. I mean, is that it? There we go. They put theirs in an even smaller container for some reason. Okay. max width of 56 rem, because why not? So let's just add it to this container here. Max width, what did I say, 56 rem? Does that sound right? Yeah. Their heading is bigger, and it's the first of its type. Oh, browse plugins and themes. It's pretty much the same size header. So what did we do for that? This is the one we just copied. There's no styling. Oh no, wait. The styling would be up here. Heading, font size 1.5 rem. Sounds good. Sounds like maybe it was already that because it didn't really change. What's theirs? Yeah, theirs is black. So let's make ours black as well. This one's already black. Okay. I don't know. That's about it. Easy peasy. Okay. Section, how does it work? So I'm gonna call this how. Too old to be wasting time and energy coming up with names for crap. How. Container, and then I'll throw in a flex div in there. Call this grid, and then inside that flex div called card. SVG, there's an SVG thing here. I honestly don't know what the point of it is. I'm just gonna copy and paste my SVG in anyways. So like, is there some psychopath out there who's like typing in their path or something? I don't know. I'm just gonna copy and paste. After that is heading and then text. So heading, and we probably better make this, no, not inside the SVG. I didn't, oh yeah, I should have held control. That makes it a sibling. Let's make this an H3, I think, and then a text. And those names are fine. I don't care. Let's call this icon. And Ben. Okay. Okay. Let's get the SVG out of the way. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Copy element, paste. Done. Okay, let's do some more copying and pasting, shall we? Still haven't read this content yet. That content came from the robot. Alright, so this time we want 4 columns instead of 3. So how did we do that up here? We did repeat 3 FR, so we just want to do 4 FR. And then maybe we still make it 2 FR at 768 and then 1 column. Yeah, does that sound about right to y'all? And then, yep, 1 FR, good, yeah. Yeah. What do we have here? Let's duplicate this. See what it looks like. Do we have 4 columns? We have 3 columns. Oh, that's because I copied and pasted and I forgot to change the 3 into a 4. So let's do that. 4. Come on. Come on, Sandbox. What's going on? You can't refresh all of a sudden? No, seriously though. There we go. 4 columns. I know what I'm doing. Sort of. Alright. Looks like maybe they stuck to the regular container on this one. Yep. Beautiful. Which means I just need to add the container class. Guess I forgot to do that. Make sure this has the section class. So that should already, yep, perfect. Now everything, not everything, the icon is centered, right? But then, oh, they centered everything? I just criticized a guy for having too much centered text. But hey, this is the mock-up that the designer gave us. The client approved it, so we're doing it. Plus it makes it easier, I think. Because we're just going to come over here to this card and say text align center. Did you guys know that the center element still works? I've used it recently. Okay. Also, this card is display flex, I believe, by default, because I picked flex div when I clicked on it, so I should be able to just say align item center. Yeah. Yeah. Now we need different icons. What did I do? Oh. Fail. Fail. Alright. You know what? I don't even care. Leaving it. I would normally only be building one of these probably. Well, no, I wouldn't make. Yeah, never mind. These aren't a custom post type. Okay. And let's say margin once again. All right. I must be using CSS for this. Of course they are. Da, 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 da. So I think I can say, can I say typography color? Yes, I can, except I need to add it to, I need to give these SVGs their own class, don't I? You got these Tailwind classes from, yeah, get this stuff out of here. Or, no. I don't even know, what do we got? I'm gonna call that blue. I'm gonna say green, blue, purple, orange. Is it too late if I go like this and say BEM classes? Okay, perfect. Grid green. So take this color off. Put that on grid green. There we go. This is my blue color. We're pretending this is blue. Oop. Color. Oh, what did I gum it? What's going on? Grid blue. Grid blue. Color. Okay. I accidentally added it back to that. And then our last color is orange. A lot of web development is pretty tedious. Grid orange color. And then, oh, I need to put the SVGs in their own little div, don't I? Ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Alright. Let's go sibling flex div, drag it inside. Icon wrapper. Okay. Alrighty then. So, yep. Now, given that this is flex and all that, why? Oh, because it's a div. Divs are displayed block. So I also need to say icon wrapper, line item center, except I'm going to also maybe not need to do that because icon wrapper width is going to be, I don't even know, 5 rem. Background color blue. Okay, that did not max. Oh, max inline size 5 rem. I don't want to do max. I just want to do block size 4 rem. And inline size 4 rem. And align center, justify center. Border. Just do 50%, right? When we want our circle. I don't get that. It is display flex, right? Justify, align, center. Huh. Oh, there's a margin on that. That's right. Which we need to add now to our icon wrapper. Okay. Okay, let's take this background color off. And I also need to give, see, if I'd thought about all this ahead of time, this would be not as annoying. Class, I'm gonna call it wrapper blue, whatever. Green, right? Yeah. Okay. Move my dumb face. Wrapper green. Background color. Yeah. I don't even know if, honestly, if Screencastify is even still recording. I don't know how long I get to record. I gotta tell you, I much prefer the just copy and pasting code method, but as far as builders go, this is nice. This is kind of fun. Coding, we're gonna call this code. Did I not put my margin back on there before? Bruh. Okay. Could have sworn I put my margin back on there. Whatever. Margin, where are you? Okay. Alright. Yeah. Alright, here's the thing. I'm calling it. Where are we at? Alright, took me an hour and 20 minutes, which is still not bad at all. You're talking about basically building a website from scratch. I didn't do the header or the footer because I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired, my back hurts, I'm old. So I'm going to go ahead and call it now. Building the header and footer wouldn't be that difficult. I mean, it's just 3 columns down here, right? Everything's flex column, easy peasy. Header, a little bit more work. Would have to do some JavaScript, which I would steal from the robot to do that anyways. But I think we did a pretty decent job. Let's take a look at this real quick. I definitely would want to spend more time just making sure I got all the font sizes exactly correct. Also the correct font. I don't know what font it's using. I have a Chrome extension that usually tells me, but it doesn't want to work on this. Maybe it's kind of working. Geist Sans. Usually you can click on something and it'll pop up and tell you all the information about it. But it doesn't want to work. Will it work here? No. Something about this VO preview, it's just not having it. But and then here's our version. Oh, these cards need, and I think we can steal the border. Border radius, the border, and the box shadow, and probably the padding. I'm just gonna grab all this, come down here, and I'd probably make a card class, honestly, and just add it to that. How card and grid card? Oh, because I did create BEM classes twice, didn't I? Anyway, let's see what that looks like. There we go. Yeah. So I honestly think this looks really nice. This looks very, very close. You know, again, I could tweak it more to get the padding right. Like this isn't enough padding here, I don't think. Yeah, we could use more padding. This text is bigger than mine, so it would still take a little bit of tweaking, but you know, all the tweaking is very easy. It's just all over here, you know. I mean, I could do it over here as well. You can do whatever you want. But if you're trying to do the builder, which is what this video is about, you know, you can just click on something, come over here, typography, font size. Let's say we think maybe it's 4 rem instead of 3. You know, that's closer. And this needs a container. This didn't get the container class. You know, easy stuff. There we go. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to call it for this video. Sorry you didn't get to watch me struggle with the header. If you want to watch me struggle building a header, watch the first video, because I struggled building that header, even though I was just copying and pasting text. But alright, that's it, man. Thanks guys for watching. Once again, it took me an hour and 20 minutes to get all this done, and it is mobile responsive. I could probably use clamp on this text. I like to use clamp to make that a little more responsive, but the rest of it looks pretty good. So yeah, thanks for watching.